What's up all 20 people who watch my commentaries, I'm Hyde, and today I'm doing a video that I've actually been requested to make a few times, and that's a sniper guide. Now Sniper is an interesting character to make guides for, since he has no fancy gimmicks that dictate his playstyle like other characters have. At his core, Sniper is just the bare basics of a shooter game with a seemingly endless skill ceiling, so as a result I'll be teaching you things that I believe to be important that aren't necessarily tied to Sniper, because anything that affects your basic shooter skills will tenfold affect your sniper skills. In a moment you'll see why I chose this match to do my commentary over, since I absolutely clean house to the point of Hackusations, so I have plenty of shots to go over and explain my reasoning and movements. But the first thing I'd like to note is my hesitation to peek the sightline. I actually observed a sniper dot on my friendly demo's forehead and knew that the enemy sniper was focused in, so instead of blatantly risking my neck to peek, I simply waited out, which leads to my first point about Sniper: positioning. There's three things that I want to mention about positioning. Don't be super aggressive, choose a place with the most exposure time for the enemy team, and if possible, don't challenge enemy snipers. Let's start with don't be aggressive. You'll notice in this clip that I don't ever take any extra effort to leave this spot. I keep it held down nice and tight, and I don't try to be overly aggressive. My reasoning behind this is that Sniper highly benefits from already being scoped in by the time a target arrives. This is for a couple of reasons. The most obvious is you can charge your shots for extra damage. The time it actually takes you to scope in matters quite a bit. A fraction of a second it takes to scope in when playing aggressively will overall reduce enemy exposure time, which leads into my next point. Enemy exposure time. You want to position yourself where if the enemy wants to combat your team, they'll have to stand on your sight line to do so for the longest period possible. Hallways overlooking the objective, like the one I'm in right now, are the best for this. Finally, we have not challenging enemy snipers, and this bit may be up for debate, but I find that the longer you wait to challenge the enemy sniper when they know you're there, the more paranoid you can make them and the longer you can stay alive to cover your team, since your only hard counter as sniper is another sniper. The reasoning behind this is the sniper that approaches will always be at a disadvantage, since she has to A. Find the enemy sniper to line up the shot, and B. Scope in to actually take the shot. Meanwhile, the defending sniper is already scoped in and likely has his crosshair trained on the target. The next point I want to make is probably what most people came here for, and that's aiming. Aiming has three types, with each type having their respective situations, and some get used a lot more than others. The three types of aiming are prediction, tracking, and flick shots. And I'll be going over where and how each of them should be used. Just a side note here, I see this in a lot of my matches, and I have to ask why people think it's wrong to advertise their Team Fortress 2 dedicated channel in Team Fortress 2, or else would I advertise at Walmart? So the first kind of aiming is prediction aiming, and you'll want to use this the most since it is the most consistent and reliable type of aiming. All prediction aiming is you place your crosshair somewhere you think the enemy head's gonna go, and clicking the moment their head aligns. Absolutely drill it into your head that this is the most useful type of aiming, and about 70% of all your successful headshots should come from prediction aiming. The next type of aiming is tracking, and this type of aiming is useful for when opponents are in your sightline but you don't have your crosshair trained on them yet. This type of aiming should be used in conjunction with prediction aiming by tracking your opponent's head to where you think they're going and then set up a prediction shot. The speed at which you combine these aiming techniques will gradually get faster with time, and eventually it'll be so fast that your shots may appear to be flick shots when in reality they were swiftly executed track to prediction shots. And that leads to my final aiming tip, and that's flick shots. Aww. Ah, shit! These should be used sparingly, and are for immediate threats that you can't run away from or get time to line up a shot for. These shots will miss a lot, so only use them when necessary. Now with aiming out of the way, my final topic, which I believe to be far more important than people realize, is personal health. Now I'm not talking go run a marathon before you play TF2. There are a couple of external things I've noticed that improve my gameplay if I take care of them. To be consistent with my other points, I have three major things to point out, and those things are mental health, physical health, and in-game mentality. Starting with mental health, you want to be getting plenty of sleep, 8 to 9 hours, and try not to be mentally fatigued before playing. Mental fatigue is caused most commonly by browsing your phone or playing too long. If you're mentally impaired, your reaction time and decision making will be off, thus making you a shitty sniper. On to my next point, physical health. Your physical well-being very much affects your sniper performance since your finer motor skills and mental capabilities are directly correlated to it. You don't have to be an athlete or anything to be good at sniper, but 5 to 10 minutes of weightlifting can temporarily enhance your motor skills, and avoiding spicy foods, caffeine, and eating in excess can likewise improve your finer motor skills and help uncloud your judgment/decision making. My final tip is to maintain a calm mentality while playing. This tip might actually be the most important of all my tips since it can lead to astronomically faster improvement over time. All this means is don't get frustrated when you don't perform perfectly. Everyone misses shots and everyone dies stupidly, including the pro players, but it's important that you don't beat yourself up about it. Instead, ask yourself, how could you have done better? Anyway, that's all the tips I feel are necessary for sniper. The last thing to really say is practice makes perfect, but every shitty fucking sniper guide includes that, and I don't think it's wholly important since it's implied with just about anything you do in life. If you like the video, then leave, well, a like, and maybe even subscribe, that'd be cool too. And I'll see you next time. This accusation, it's delicious.